If you were dropped on this island today, you would find no fresh water, no trees, and mountains made entirely out of salt. It is a truly harsh, unforgiving environment. Yet 2,000 years ago, this specific red rock held a concentration of wealth that rivaled the greatest capitals on Earth. The riches of China, the spices of India, and the treasures of the Roman Empire all crashed together on these specific shores. Controlling this single barren island meant exercising a total chokehold over ancient global trade. Moving goods over land during antiquity was a grueling process. The traditional Silk Road was slow, expensive to traverse, and vulnerable to constant banditry. The real profit was found at sea. The Persian Gulf served as a vital maritime highway, connecting the vast markets of the East directly to the Middle East and the Mediterranean. But ancient mariners had little navigational choice. Rigid seasonal wind patterns and treacherous shallow coastal waters forced every merchant fleet onto a very specific path. All of that maritime traffic was funneled into a tiny 39-kilometer gap right under the shadow of Hormuz Island. The physical architecture of the Earth turned this channel into an unavoidable toll booth, ensuring that any ship entering the Gulf encountered Hormuz. It didn't take long for early empires to recognize the tactical value of this bottleneck. By the time of the Sasanian kings, the Persian Empire began utilizing the island's unique position. They transformed this desolate rock into a fortified naval outpost designed specifically to extract a tax from every vessel that sailed past. Centuries later, the Islamic Caliphate expanded across a massive, unified territory spanning from the Mediterranean to India. This unified market saturated the Gulf with a volume of merchant traffic that the region had never seen before. With ships bottlenecked, merchants realized sailing the entire world was inefficient. They could simply stop at Hormuz and trade directly. Hormuz evolved into a central clearinghouse where merchants swapped cargoes, allowing them to head home without completing the full global journey. The physical bottleneck organically turned a localized military outpost into a premier global destination. The market that emerged on this salt rock was staggering. It became a cosmopolitan hub so wealthy that it later left explorers like Marco Polo in awe. Fleets arrived from the east carrying hulls packed with fine Chinese silks and precious porcelain. From the Indian subcontinent came piles of aromatics and intense, highly valued spices. Traders from the mainland brought thousands of Arabian and Persian horses, shipping them outward to supply foreign militaries. And from the Gulf itself came a lucrative pearl trade, harvesting gems for the elites of both Rome and China. By sitting at the center of the network and capturing a fraction of every transaction, the island's rulers generated a continuous stream of secondary wealth. Yet amid this global luxury, the island produced nothing. It remained a jagged salt rock that had to import even its own drinking water. Hormuz proved that a market's power is derived from the concentration of its network, rather than the natural resources of its soil. This is the principle of positional value. A location can command a premium simply because of the volume of trade forced past its shores. Eventually, that positional value caught the attention of European superpowers, who sailed heavy armadas across the globe to seize it. The Portuguese Empire arrived and constructed massive stone fortifications on the island to monopolize the strait. Portuguese strategy prioritized this barren outpost as a means to tax and regulate the flow of commerce moving between Europe and the Indian Ocean. In global geopolitics, controlling the movement of resources provides more leverage than actually producing those resources. For centuries, the ancient global economy was dictated by a tiny rock made of salt and red dirt, proving that geography is ultimately destiny. To see how these forces still shape our world, subscribe for more.